Imagine a world in which if Enoch was left in the Bible and people were like, wait, what happened? Like, explain the nuttiness of the book of Enoch to people.
Well, first of all, if you haven't read a lot of the books that were left out of the Bible, such as like the Gospel of Thomas, the book of Enoch, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, you're doing yourself a disservice, because you'll realize a lot of things, but you'll mainly realize that a lot of the stories that we were told about Jesus, about his followers, are complete lies. Namely, because the Bible wasn't even written by anybody who ever even met Jesus, specifically New Testament, but nobody ever met him who actually wrote those Gospels. But let's get back to the book of Enoch.
Well, it's okay. So if you read it, it talks about the fall of angels, thus creating really the precursor of civilization that led to the first flood. I think that when you even go into potentially the technology that was given to mankind by these angels, it talks about the hidden beliefs and theories in astronomy, etc., metalworkings, all of it. But it really does explain, you were talking about earlier how you have a lot of these religions around the world that kind of say the same thing. This is kind of the OG text that leads to those stories that we're hearing from many religions around the world, to talk about angels mixing with mankind and then seeding a super essentially race of humans that essentially were responsible for basically damning mankind to the flood. I mean, you hear about stuff in Greek and Roman mythology, people who had these super crazy powers, and you talk about it out loud and it sounds crazy, but that's what the book says. And then the fact that it was taken out and then it's poo-pooed, yet you have one of the oldest religions in the world via the Ethiopians that actually still have it. You have, the Catholic Church that has books that are missing out of the King James Version. I'm just saying that, when you read it, you should read it and decide for yourself. Don't listen to what I'm saying, don't listen to what you're saying, but truly give it a chance and see what you have to say. And then, you're going back to this whole concept of, if you have this information pertaining to UAPs, whatever they might be, the origins. I mean, if you have a understanding of what Enoch was talking about, kind of makes sense.
This is crazy. I didn't know Representative Luna was deep into this. But if you're looking to go even deeper into these books that are left out of the Bible, I have a masterful PDF that you can find where, and I dive into the Gospel of Thomas, where I explain how the Bible was contrived 400 years after Jesus walked on earth, how the people who wrote the Gospels that made into the Bible never even knew Jesus, how all of these texts have changed since then. So I highly recommend that, and I highly recommend you do some research into scriptures that are not just in the Bible, because, spoiler alert, it's only what they want you to know about.